This is lesson 15 out of 25 on growth mindset. At least the idea is to get you closer to growth mindset. This is based upon a guy named Tom Bilyeu, and it was called Impact Theory. He had 25 beliefs. And so we're just taking each of those beliefs and we're making it into a quick little lesson. So 14, this is what we did last time. We said successful people don't make excuses. Now this goes right in hand with that one. So successful people don't make excuses. You got to have that mindset. And then the other part of it is this, the belief, the honest, true belief that any obstacle can be overcome. Now I don't know if you really believe that or not, because you are going to have a lot of adversities in your life. A lot of things come up, a lot of problems come up. And if you don't think that you can get past those or overcome those, you're going to be stuck in life. I was talking with my son, and we were talking about this, and I had a question. I said, how do you build, you always hear about being confident, be self-confident, have good self-esteem, but how do you build self-confidence? How do you build self-esteem? And we were talking about that back and forth. Do you get a good self-esteem by everything good happening to you? And we talked about this. We said, no, if you got everything you wanted in life, you had the best life possible, and you were given all this money, all this stuff, does that build your self-esteem? We thought, no, not really. So what builds self-esteem? What builds your self? And think through your own life. What has happened in your life that after it, you are more confident. After it, you believe more in yourself. And we came to this conclusion that self-esteem comes from, and confidence comes from facing obstacles, whatever they are, and overcoming them. If you face an obstacle and you overcome it, you are building self-confidence. You're building self-esteem. Now, a lot of times life's going to throw you obstacles that you're going to be forced to either overcome, and if you don't overcome it, are going to hold you down for the rest of your life. But then there are things that you can choose to do. Obstacles you can put in your own way to make you stronger. And you name it. It could be school. You can have a goal of getting good grades in school. Maybe you're not the best student, but you have a goal of getting good grades. That's an obstacle that you need to overcome. And if you reach that goal, if you really try and you reach that goal and you get those good grades, I promise you're going to have better self-esteem. You have more confidence. I once heard this, that you build confidence by making promises to yourself and then carrying out on it. Think about it. If you have a friend, if your friend promises you something and then they let you down, you're not going to have confidence in them in the future. But same thing with you. If you make a promise to yourself and you carry through that promise, you're going to have confidence in yourself that you're going to do the same thing next time. That's how confidence is built. And it's built by these obstacles. Two fast stories about obstacles and how you can overcome them. I remember my wife, for the longest time, she still works out, but she was really working out for a while there. She was going to the gym once, twice a day, CrossFit, crazy stuff. And the people at her gym decided to join a Spartan race. And a Spartan race, I believe this one was like 7-8 miles they had to run, but not just run 7-8 miles. They had all crazy obstacles. They had to climb over things, go underwater, under things. It was crazy, up hills, down hills. And they're all crazy things they had to do. And so she was doing this Spartan race. And I remember one obstacle they came to, and they were running this as a team. I believe it was like a 10-foot high wall they had to get past. It is impossible for you to get past a 10-foot wall. It was impossible for her to get past this 10-foot wall. It was an obstacle they had to overcome. But they quickly paused, they thought about it, and they put a plan together. And what they did is one person basically helped the other person get to the top of the wall. And then that person there, those two working together, were able to get the team, boost the other person up, other person top, grab them, help them on the other side. And then you had a person at the bottom, top, and the other side. That way, boost them up, grab them, kind of go to the next side and kind of brace their fall. And together they were able to do this. They overcame an obstacle. And I think in my own life, I can tell you this, that I'm not sure if you know this, but before I was a teacher, my job, my career, I was working at Geico Auto Insurance taking phone calls. And then we were like, hey man, we want to buy a house. So that was our obstacle. We're in San Diego, we wanted to buy a house. And so we went to go buy a house in San Diego. The realtor looked at us and kind of laughed. Said, yeah, you can't afford a house here in San Diego. It was an obstacle. How do you overcome it? They said, well, let's just go up a little bit. Go up to Temecula, all right? The house is cheaper there. So we drove to Temecula. We get to Temecula. The realtor there said, yeah, no, you can't afford it here. They said, just go down the street a little bit more to Hemet San Jacinto. Do you know how far Hemet San Jacinto is from Temecula? But they said, just go down the street a little bit, Winchester. Let's go down the street a little bit. You'll run into Hemet San Jacinto. Try it there. And we finally bought a house here in Hemet San Jacinto. That was the first obstacle. But now we have a new obstacle. Because our house is in Hemet San Jacinto, but we work down in San Diego, how do we get past that? We were doing this commute. It was a 5-hour commute. 2.5 hours down, and then 2.5 hours back every day. There's no way we're going to be able to hang with that. So how do we overcome that? We put a plan together, and that was for me to become a teacher. But how do I become a teacher? Because I'm working full time. We just have a brand new baby girl. We put a plan together. And so I would work, we come home, and I spend a few hours each night working on my teaching credential until I finally got my teaching credential. So we overcame that obstacle. But then there's one last thing I had to do, and that was I had to do student teaching. Become a teacher, I do student teaching. But student teaching in the daytime. But I had a full-time job in the daytime, and I couldn't do both at the same time. Put a plan together. Obstacle, how do you overcome it? We worked together. I was able to work the night shifts. And so I would literally, for about 3 months, this was my schedule. I would do student teaching till about, what time teachers get out? 2 o'clock? Then from there, I would drive down, I did student teaching here in Hemet, then I drove down to San Diego to do my Geico job. And I was on my Geico job from about 8 hours, from about 5 to 3. And then I would drive home at 3 o'clock in the morning, go home, take a fast shower, maybe get a 2-hour nap, and then go back to do student teaching. I had to do that for 3 months. It was horrible. I cannot tell how many accidents almost got in with that. But it was an obstacle. And the best part is, for 3 months I was able to hang in there, and when I came out of it, I felt great. I knew I took on a challenge that not many people would take on, and I overcame it. So the bottom line is this. Here's the mentality you need to have, is that any obstacle can be overcome. You are going to be facing obstacles. Now, the people that are really good, here's what they do. They purposely make life harder for themselves. They challenge themselves. They put obstacles in their own way so that they can overcome it and be stronger. So when you get to that point, you're at next level stuff. So here's my question for you. Here's my challenge for you. I'm going to give extra credit points for this. If you already know the answer, don't share it because only so many extra credit points going around. But here's a challenge to see if you want extra credit points. I got 9 dots over here. Easy enough so far. 9 dots. Your goal is to connect all 9 dots with 4 straight lines without taking up your pencil. So let's see. Let me give you an example here. So the obstacle is you got to connect all 9 dots with 4 straight lines without picking up your pencil. So I can do this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well that didn't work because I'm missing the one in the middle. All right, so that's an example. It's an attempt. Maybe I try this. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, all right. So the goal is connect all 9 dots with 4 straight lines without lifting up your pencil.